Hi everybody, it's Carla with Cobweb Corner and welcome back to my FlossTube channel. This is number 13 and it is Thursday, May 30th, 2019. We're up to 249 subscribers. Yay! My goal is to get to 300 by the end of June. So if you can help me out with that and share or tell your friends or post on Facebook, I would really appreciate it. And for everybody who's already subscribed, thank you very much. So quite a bit happened this week. Oh, and there's Bo. Bo hears me start these videos and just comes right in. We'll see if we have to put her out or not. So this weekend was Memorial Day weekend. I hope you all had a great time. We went up to North Dakota. We flew into Fargo and then drove a couple hours north and went to my niece's high school graduation, and that was a lot of fun. So we did that on Friday, and then my husband's family has a lake house about an hour and a half from where the party was, and we went there and spent 2 nights there and just had a really nice relaxing weekend. And we actually had some good weather. We drove in horrible rain from the graduation party to the lake. We couldn't see the side of the road. It was terrible. But once we got there and the next day, it was just beautiful. And I have a sister-in-law who loves to cook, and she cooked for us the weekend. And I don't know if she loves it, but she's really good at it. And we had some amazing food and got to see the family. So that was a lot of fun. Then the only thing that's really happened here this week is the weather has just been crazy. Last night the sirens went off, and luckily where we live we were just on the edge, but it was blowing like crazy and raining like crazy. I don't think we got any hail, but other people did, and there were sirens sighted, or tornadoes sighted around us. So we actually went back into our basement and sat for a while. So it's just crazy. I think I read that there's been tornadoes touching down in the United States 13 days in a row now. So yeah, that's just crazy. So other than that, I've just been working and haven't really had a chance to get outside. I need to get outside. I guess she wants to help. I need to get outside and get some exercise, and I also need to get the cats out. I have 2 cats, Toulouse and Bordeaux, and I take them outside on a harness, and I'll put a picture of them, one of them at least, in their harness here. So that's how we go outside, and Bo is actually really good about it. I'll say, do you want to go outside, Bo? And I go and get her harness, and she just stands right in front of me and waits for me to put it on. If she can get out the door without the harness, then she's gone. I don't let the cats go outside by themselves. But anyway, they're crazy and they need to get outside too. So what happened stitching wise? Haul this week, I got a couple things. So one of the things I'm most excited about is I got the new DMC color book. So I had an old book. You guys may have seen it. It's got the yellow cover, but it was pretty outdated, and I wanted to get the new ones. I think my old one was only like 3 pages or something, and this one is page after page. It's got all the new 35 colors, and then it's got the special effects colors. I don't know if you can see the shiny stuff, but now I have actually used my old book many times, and I used it recently when I did the Boo Bear by Stony Creek because it called for glow-in-the-dark floss and I didn't have any. So I just went by the cover of the photo on the cover of the book and used my DMC book and found things that match. So I bought this from Cottage Needlework, I think. Cottage Needles or something on Etsy. I'll put a link down below. And at the time, I think I got the last one. And I looked into ordering them wholesale and maybe having them in my shop. But my two main wholesalers don't sell them. And I got this pretty much at wholesale cost, which was awesome. I've seen them for as high as like $65, and I think I paid 27 or 29. So I was really happy. So I'm really glad that that came in the mail. The other thing I bought was a little box to keep my finished projects in, because I plan on having this many finished projects, so many finished projects that I can't get them FFO'd in fast enough. So I got a little box to try to keep the cats away from this and do that. The other thing that I got is when I ordered the DMC book, the seller sent me a needle to try, and it's a needle from France, and it's called Bohin, Bohin, and I found them on Amazon, and I put them in a link below. I put a link below to my Amazon shop, so if you want to see what they look like or what they are. This was a number 28 needle, and I'm like, I've never been like, oh, the needle matters and you gotta, I mean, I like the certain size and stuff, but I decided to try it on a new start, and I don't know if it's the material or the needle or the combination, but it is awesome. I mean, it just flows like silk through my material, and so I ordered 25 more and we'll see how that goes, but I'm really impressed with them. They're pretty easy to thread. I think I normally stitch with the 26, but the 28 was perfect, and the seller recommended the 28. She said, this is my new favorite needle, and so I gave that a try. The other thing, let's see, mail wise, the other new thing I got this week was all of my inventory is stored in a back room, and we've had old fluorescent, the old fluorescent lights that kind of hang down, and then they have the two long tubes in them, and it's been pretty good lighting, but it's pretty shadowy, and I actually have kind of bad eyes. I have an eye disease, and anything shadowy or dark is hard for me to see, and just age related, it's getting harder and harder for me to see the numbers on the books or the names of the books. I store things by publisher and then by number if there is a number, or alphabetical by chart name. And so my husband got me 4 new lights back there, and boy, I tell you, you turn the lights on and it's just like, wow, and they're daylight colored and I can see so much better. It's just awesome. So I'm really glad he did that for me. Makes a huge difference. I didn't get really any stitchy mail, but we got some fun mail. So yesterday I'm cooking supper, and our kitchen looks out into our driveway. A kitchen window looks out into our driveway. So I turned around and I saw that this van had pulled way down into our driveway over by our shop and was backing out. And I thought, well, that's really weird. It was this great big like cargo van. So it left, and it didn't have any wording on it or anything. So it didn't look, it didn't say like United, Post Office or FedEx or anything like that. It was just plain tan van. And I'm like, that's a little weird. And we have had problems with theft in our development, even in the daytime. So I yelled down at my husband, who was home, and I said, you better go out to the shop and see if someone went into your shop, or if they left something. They might have been delivering something. So he went outside, and this is what he found. I'm going to insert a photo here. So yeah, Bigfoot visited us, and we're like, what the heck is this? There were 2 of them. They're like 5 feet tall, and we didn't order them. And I start getting online, and I find an Etsy store that orders them, and I contact them, and they say, no, we didn't ship to anybody around you. Well, about a half hour later, our neighbor comes over and says, did somebody deliver 2 Bigfoot steel lawn ornaments to you? And we said, yes, they did. And they're over behind our shop. So it was just really bizarre. It was like, what are these doing in our yard? So anyway, that came. And the other thing that came on yesterday, was HelloFresh. So I don't know if you're doing HelloFresh or Blue Apron or any of those things, but we've been doing HelloFresh for almost 3 years, and I love it. Last night we made, I have got risotto down. I make the best restaurant quality risotto now. And last night's meal was risotto with chicken sausage, which has a little bit of spice to it, and spring peas. So it was so good, and I had leftovers for lunch. I just love it. We don't get it every week, but we get it at least twice a month, I would say. And people look at it and they say, oh, well, that's pretty expensive. It's like $69 a week. We get 3 meals. But I have saved so much food from throwing it away and going and buying, if you need a little bit of part of a pepper or one pepper and you don't use the rest of it, or if you buy a head of lettuce and you only use a little bit, because I'm not a big person to plan my meals out. And we have tried so many foods that I would never ever think of, and the flavors are quite bold. So if you like bland food, it wouldn't be for you. But anyway, I'll put a link down below. It's an associate link, but if you haven't tried it or one of the other ones, look into Blue Apron. Home Chef, I think. But we're just really, really happy with HelloFresh, and it makes cooking so easy, which I'm all about easy. So I think that's it for mail and haul. While I was traveling this weekend, I did get out my Sweet Spring design, which I started about 4 weeks ago when we went to Germany. I started it on the plane. Sorry. And I had most of the border done. So I did this whole flower, and I started the SP in spring. So there's not too much more. It'll go pretty quick. And I'm going to save this chart. And this is going to, it fits perfectly in my project bag. And I can just leave it on the Q-snaps. And I put it right in my project bag. And it's ready to go when we travel. Or, if I have to take my mom and dad to the doctor's office and sit for a while, I can just grab this. So I'm not going to work on this at home. I'm going to keep that for a to-go bag, and I don't think it'll be too much longer before I'll have a chance to finish that up. Then, I'm going to pause a second because I forgot to get my new start off the frame. So hang on. Okay, I'm back. So no matter how much I plan, I never have everything that I need. Sorry, my phone beeped. So I had a new start this week, and I'm really excited about it. I started The Girl Sat on the Dragon reading a book. It is a Joy Sunday chart, and if you've watched my past videos, Joy Sunday is a company out of China, and they actually have a lot of illegal charts, which I didn't know at the time I bought this. This chart, however, is not illegal. It's a license from the artwork of a French artist named David Ravoy, I think his name is. And I checked that. Once I found out that a lot of their charts were illegal, I checked that before I decided to stitch it. I'm going to go ahead and stitch it, and then probably won't buy any more from that company again. But I started, this is the one I also, a little bit, 1 or 2 videos ago, talked to you about the first time gridding. And I don't know whether I'm going to, it has saved me. I did find a couple mistakes already based on the grid. So that alone has saved me. But I don't feel confident enough with the way I did it to start over here and know that I'm a certain block. I'm not confident enough to do that. But this is her knees. So it's her 2 legs, her knees, and this is the book that she's reading. So I got just this part right here and most of the book done. So it is actually stitching really fast. There's a lot of colors in there, but they'll do like you go up and down a whole a whole area in one color. So you can stitch quite a bit before you have to change your thread. And I think it's going to stitch pretty well, and I'm super excited about it. And then also, it's big, but there's just a ton of empty space. It's just fabric. So the hard part's going to be down here. This part right here is pretty detailed. But I did not use the fabric that came with the kit. I chose a 28 count Jobelin by Witchelt, and it's super soft. I really like it. So I am posting regularly on my Instagram as I move along on this and progress on this. So if you want to follow along. Oh, and my needle minder is also a fairy to keep in the theme, and that's by Gecko Rouge. And the Gecko Rouge needle minders are available on our website. They're a little bit different than some. This part is not a magnet. So usually you have two magnets together. There's a magnet on a disc here, and they go together like that. So, and their designs are all I think all original artwork from artists that are licensing with that company. So this one, I just love that one, if you can see her. So that's the needle minder I'm using for this one. Okay, so that was my new start, and that's really it. I didn't have any finishes, and I'm not one to start 3 or 4 things at once, and I actually just love this dragon design, so I think I'm going to just concentrate on that for a while. So I'll be showing you progress on that. Oh, here's one more thing I had for haul. I told you guys I got a whole bunch, like 3 huge boxes of cross-stitch stuff from one of my best friends, who is whittling down her stash. She knits more now, and I was going through that, and I found these DMC Light Effects threads, and I decided those were not going to go on in my shop. I was going to keep those. So they're all brand new. I don't have any in my stash now, and I have no idea whether I'll ever use them, but they're super pretty. And I thought, well, that's one more specialty thread that if I ever have a chart, or if I want to add a little bit of glitter or shine, that I can do that. So I'm going to keep those and not put them on my site. Sorry. Okay, so that's it, I think, for Stitchy Talk. I continued to use the app. I'm using Cross Stitch Plus is the app that I'm using. And I think I'm going to do either part of maybe a mini floss tube that just reviews that. I really like it. I'm all about keeping things on technology. I'm also using my cross stitch journal by It's So Emma. But I want to kind of compare the two, like what does one have in it that the other one doesn't, and do I prefer writing it down by hand, or do I prefer the online app type of thing? So I use that I don't, with me, all my inventory really is a possible, wish list item. So I don't buy charts ahead, and have a stash, because I have 5,500 books in my inventory that I can go pull from. Or if I see something I know I want to stitch, then I just buy that one thing. And so I don't have a lot of inventory to store in the app, but I love that you can put your finishes in and put a photo, because if you give your finish away, you kind of forget. You can have a photo on your camera, but this lets you talk about the project and have a photo right there, and search on finishes or search on work in process. But anyway, I might review the whole app in either a short video where that's all I talk about, or as part of one of my future FlossTube videos. So shop talk. Few things. I got a new feature on our website that I had done about a year and a half ago. I paid up front to have 10 minor changes made to my site. And they're normally like $50 a change. And you can do really simple things like, you know, add this field to the product page or whatever. And I got 10 for $250. So they're $25 in each. So that's pretty good. And I've only used like 4 or 5 of them. And I'm like, you know, this is money that I spent that I could be improving my website. So I put a feature on there when you go in, when you pull up an item, a chart or whatever, and you look at it either in quick view where the little pop-up window comes or in the full product detail. The publisher name will now show right under the title, and you can click on the publisher's name and go see all of the charts by that publisher. So I'm going to just put a little image here. I'm going to insert an image here, and there's an arrow showing you where it is. And if you want to try that out, most sites have it, and I use it whenever I shop on other sites. So, you know, if you're looking at a Prairie Schooler chart and you want to see all the charts by Prairie Schooler, you don't have to go back and do a search by designer or even use the search box. You can just click on the publisher name right there, and it will take you to all the charts by that designer. So I'll insert a photo here. So that just had an arrow showing where that's located, and I think everybody's going to really like that. So that was well worth the $25 to have them do that. My jewelry shop, I finally, a couple weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, I had sent in 7 of my hidden book necklaces to Amazon for my Amazon jewelry shop. So my stuff on Amazon is fulfilled by Amazon, made by me, fulfilled by Amazon. And they just finally got them all listed. So I have 7 books. I think there's, what were some of them? There's a Bible. There's a book called The Nativity, a Pride and Prejudice, I think, a Jane Austen book, another Jane Austen, Northanger Abbey or something like that, and Leonardo da Vinci's illustrations by Leonardo da Vinci, his journal, and something by Galileo. So there's some interesting books, and I'm going to insert some photos here of the necklaces that are now available on Amazon, and I'll do that real quick. So those are going to go here. So those are my hidden book necklaces, and they are just tiny. They're actually made for a dollhouse, and they have pages that open, and you can wear them as a necklace. So they are some of my best sellers. So those are finally available. And then I got a notice from Amazon that Prime Day is coming, which is like the summer equivalent of Black Friday. And anything that we want to have guaranteed available for Prime Day has to be sent in by June 27th, which means I need to really get to work, because I haven't been working on jewelry at all for months, for pretty much since the beginning of the year. And especially since I went to market, it's just been cross-stitch focus, because I am loving the cross-stitch side of things. So then I got a supply. I also have a jewelry supply shop, and I got a pretty big order in from that and got all that listed. So I worked on that. And then cross-stitch inventory, I continued to enter charts by Cross Stitch Wonders, and I even got 18. I think I'm up to almost 400 charts by them. Not all of them are entered yet, but they are really selling well. They're super quick to stitch, most of them, and some of them are really funny. So Cross Stitch Wonders, you can I'll have a link to them below. And then my other thing I've been working on is I bought a whole bunch of Plum Street Sampler charts, from Hoffman, and have been working on those. I only got a few entered this week so far. I entered Friends of the Heart, and that's got the gray heart deer in the center, and then his friends are a fox, a bird, a squirrel, another bird, and then there's a house down in the corner. So Friends of the Heart. And then Gathering Honey. It says, how doth the little busy bee improve each shining hour, and gather honey all the day from every opening flower. And it's got 4 beehives, and the really cute thing is the woman there has a chicken on the leash. So that's pretty funny. And then it's got the alphabet sampler up top. So that is Gathering Honey. And then I got Love Thy Neighbor as Thyself. And I like this one. It's got houses arranged in a neighborhood, like kind of around a block. And then there's 2 cats in there. And big, large flower. Love Thy Neighbor as Thyself. Then I got the American Sampler, which says, give me a calm and thankful heart, from every murmur free. The blessings of thy grace impart, preserve our liberty. Sic semper tyrannis. Tyrannus or Tyrannus, I don't know how you say that. So that's a little bit more advanced chart, but I love it. What a neat sampler. Thank goodness for editing. And then I think this is my favorite one, and it's called Spring Delivery. It's got a blue horse pulling a wagon full of spring flowers with a rabbit running along beside. And I really like this. I think I want to stitch this one, but I'm not sold on the fabric choice. So suggestions would be welcome. It's kind of like a butter, yellow cream or something like that. And I don't know, maybe I'd stitch it on the same fabric. But if you've seen this stitched before, or by anyone else, and they changed up the fabric, I would love to see it, because I think that's a really cute chart. The next one is Christmas Tea. It says, come to my table and share with me warm gingerbread cookies and cranberry tea. And it's got a little bit of green and red in the bottom, but really you could use this all winter long for a seasonal chart. So, and that would be a super quick stitch. And then this one is called The Flood, and this is amazing. It says, I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. So it's the verse about God putting the rainbow in the cloud, and it's got a really detailed arc. It's a bunch of different bands. I don't know if you can see that very well. And it's got hippos and lions and elephants and zebras, kangaroos, bears, giraffes, birds. And then it's got the rain coming down. So the way, and Noah is standing in the center. So the way I interpret this, even though he's talking about the rainbow, I interpret this as the rain is starting and Noah is calling the animals to the ark. But it could also be, it's done, you got the rainbow now, because there's no rainbow on the chart. And he's letting on the animals out. But anyway, that's how I interpreted it. So that was it for new stash for the shop. And I want to talk about a featured older designs, and my feature for this week is You and I and Friends, and I've got a number of You and I and Friends charts, and the photos aren't super great, so we'll see what we can do here. This is I don't even know what the name of this one is. There's no name. It might just be You and I and Friends. Hello, Bo. You want to come up? You can come up on the table. So this one's a sampler. And Oliver chart, and this one comes with a really nice heart button in the back. Sorry about that, my phone is ringing. I'm going to pause this. Sorry about that. I didn't think you needed to listen to the phone ring and then hear our answering message. This one is a whole bunch of hearts, and this one I got in a personal stash, and it's all kitted up and ready to go. So that one's on there. And then I love this. The long-legged bird. Is that crazy? Long-legged bird. It's all called. I just think that is so cute. And then we've got March Wind Blows. It's got a small. This is Gobble Gobble November. And it's just a turkey. It says Gobble Gobble. And then they have a bunch from, they did a bunch of vegetables. And this is the radish. And it just, radical radish, that's what it's called. And then this is another one that I just love. It is crazy. It's called Scary Snowball. Is that hilarious? I just love that. And another vegetable is snow pea. These are just real small. And then we've got Snowman Scissorweight. And Tea for Two. And the white onion to go with the set. Big egg. Couple of those. Another white onion. And tangy tomato. And some Christmas ornaments. And Woolly U rabbit. So those are some of the things that we've had in our shop for a while that are great things that you may never have seen before. So give those a look if you saw anything that was interesting. I'll put a link down below to all the You and I Friends charts that we have. So I think that's about it for Shop Talk. So let's talk giveaway. Last week's winner was Desiree Feister again. So you guys, and congratulations Desiree. I used the random comment picker for Yahoo videos, and it takes out any duplicate entries. So there were 7 comments, but only 6 unique ones. And then it randomly selects one of those comments. And as long as that comment answered the question that I had, then that person wins. And Desiree won again. So way to go, Desiree. And I think like I said, we only had 6 people enter last time. Like 300 people watched the videos. So you have a really good chance of winning. So go, maybe, she won 12 different cards of the Curtis Boinger Antique Teddies, one for each month of the year. So way to go, Desiree. And I will get those out to you right away. I have your address. So this week's giveaway. So the giveaway this week, I decided to go with a summer theme, and again get out a chart that was maybe a little bit older. I'm looking for a date here. 2003. So this is by Sam Sarah Design Studio, and it's called A Merry Little Summer and Summer Love Too. So you've got this whimsical bee, and the bee says A Merry Little Summer. Excuse me. And then you've got the pot of flowers that said love. Aren't those cute? And with that, you're going to get a Gecko Rouge needle minder that is called, what was it called? I wrote it down. Beach Flowers. Beach Flowers needle minder. And it's just, sorry, if I open up the package, it'll tear the warning for keep away from children on the back. So you're going to get both of those things in next week's giveaway. And all you have to do is say, I would like to stitch the bee. I would like to stitch the bee. And if that's in your comment and I pick you randomly on FlossTube number 14, you will win both the chart and the needle minder. So I think that's it. That's everything on my list. Sorry, I'm looking down, but I want to make sure I got everything. This week I plan on stitching on my dragon some more and maybe adding some more things to my wish list. If you have a FlossTube channel, I would love to sit in on some of your videos. So go ahead and post in your in the comments below what your FlossTube channel is, or if you have a FlossTube channel that you think I might be interested, please post, because I do listen to FlossTube channels while I'm stitching, and I would love to know. I would love to look at yours if you have one. And I think that's it. So it's warm out today, and I think, tomorrow I'm going with my mom. My mom will be 85 in 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. And she's just doing great. My dad's great too. My dad's going to be 87 this summer, and they're both in good health. My mom has extremely poor eyesight. She got macular degeneration in her late 50s, and it's the kind you can't treat with injections. And it runs in our family. All of my aunts were pretty much blind, and my mom's pretty much blind. She hasn't been able to drive for a couple years now, but she's doing great otherwise. And she goes on these bank trips. So the bank in her town, smaller town, does like 7 or 8 a year, where it's mostly ladies. The ladies, some men go too, but it's mostly ladies. They sign up and they go on all these little day trips all over, and I get to go with her one time a year. So she will read them to me, the ones that she thinks I might like, and I pick out which one I want to go. And we're going tomorrow to East Moline, Illinois, and we're going to a dinner theater, and I can't remember what the play is, but I have to pick her up. It's about a 45-minute drive. I'm going to pick her up about 10 minutes to 8. Then we go and we get on a bus, and then we go. I don't know if we're going to do some sightseeing elsewhere or what. And then we go and we have lunch at this dinner theater, and then they have the play, and then we come home. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys have something fun planned too, and happy stitching. Thanks for watching. Bye.